Good afternoon, everybody. This is John Haynes here. And tonight we have a special edition of our Briarwood Choir virtual rehearsal series that we've been doing during this COVID era. I've asked Ken Berg to come and share several things with us tonight. Number one, for common Joe and Jane singers, what would be the pieces of advice that he would give to you to take your choral art to the next level this summer while you're preparing to be in choir this fall? Second thing, I've asked him, same thing, but for advanced singers and soloists. What can they do over the course of this summer to take their art to the next level? God bless you, and here's our special edition of this rehearsal tonight. Well, howdy everybody. Welcome to the Briarwood Presbyterian Church choir room. And I'm here with my good friend and our good friend, church member, and nationally renowned conductor and composer, Ken Berg. And I've got some questions I want to ask Ken in this special edition of our choir virtual rehearsal. My first question to you, Ken, is to the common Joe and Jane choir member. You know, they might not read music, they like to sing. Over the course of the summer, what are the 2 or 3 things they can do to take their choral art to the next level to get ready for fall choral season?
Well, there are several things we can do, but first I want to address the fact that your everyday, ordinary church choir singer is anything but. We are, in both the Old Testament and the New Testament, we are commanded to sing before the Lord. There are basically 3 parts of the singing apparatus, which is, incidentally, all of you. So, one of the first things we've got to do is take a full tank of air. And what we want to be careful of is that this activity is non-existent. Nothing up here moves. It's all here. When I was young, and we had fireplace, we had a bellows where you would go like this and push and pull and squeeze. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're relaxing this muscle to bring air in, and then you're engaging the muscle to control the air going out. So that's the first thing you need to practice doing. Singing is similar to talking, but not the same. We don't need the same force underneath our speaking voice, but we do under our singing voice. So having 2 seconds to breathe, and then 20 seconds to exhale. Or however long we choose to do it. Good breath support underneath your sound. So that's the first thing. Second thing that is important is this part of you. So this needs, in your pharynx and your larynx, that's these 2 parts, the top here and the back here. So all these mandibular activities need to be a little more exaggerated when we sing as opposed to when we talk. Because when you're talking, you're just one person, you to him, a couple feet away from you. When you sing, you are responsible for filling up this entire room with your sound. You are responsible, not the choir. You, as an individual, are responsible for filling up this room with your sound. Or that big old sanctuary with your sound. The third place of you that is so important is this part up here, right here behind your eyes. It's the mask area. And this is where you allow for resonance. If I'm going to sing the way I talk, I would make this little circle right here. Do, re, mi, re, do. Oh no, how about lift high the cross, the love of Christ proclaim. Fine, lovely little tune. That sound that I just made probably made it to John. But if I'm responsible for filling up the whole room, I need to take this little circle and increase it to here. Lift high the cross. Now, the difference between those 2 sounds, lift high the cross, lift high the cross. My eyebrows go up, my jaw comes down, the tongue is relaxed, the soft palate is up. You can easily do if you are intentional. If you recognize that your singing needs to be actively different from your speaking. They start out the same. You're still using air coming from, the bellows down here. It's still going across the ligature right here in your pharynx and larynx. It's still being adjusted by your mandibles and your teeth and your tongue and your lips. But speaking is here, and singing is here. My speaking voice is here. My singing voice is here. They need to be different. When you're changing from your speaking to your singing, concentrate on making it a different sound. If we can practice the presence. Okay, I'm supposed to be singing with all of my resonating chamber. I'll do that. And as you do, more and more, it becomes second nature to you, and you get to carry the weight of that glory of choral singing as well as congregational singing in the act of worship.
Thank you, Ken. And the second question I want to ask Ken is for our advanced singers and our soloists. Same question, Ken. Over the course of the summer, what can our soloists and our advanced choral singers do to take the next step, raise their level in their choral art?
Singing in a choir requires that we listen and we blend with other voices. In boys' choir, Brigham Boys' Choir, we have the 4 B's of good choral singing. Breath, because that's first. You can't do anything if you don't breathe. Blend, balance, and beauty. It's got to be a beautiful sound. The really great soloists do. First, they prepare well. And they know where they need to breathe so that they can accomplish what this phrase requires. And they also are thinking about their text. And then the second thing, I'm sure your face agrees with, and this stuff stays nice and high. And advanced soloist type singers, when you're singing the solo, when you're preparing for that, those things that I just talked about. But there's one more issue I want you to think about, is your responsibility in the choral organization. And this is a very delicate balance. You don't want to over sing so that all they hear is you, and every time you sing, it's a solo with everybody back in you. You don't want that. But at the same time, you've got to put enough high quality sound out that the singers around you have something to anchor. I find for my beginning and intermediate boys, it really encourages them to have an anchor specifically placed in each section so that they, while they're still learning the act of what it takes for me to learn this music and to sing this, I've got somebody here that I know is going to be right every time, and is going to always make the kind of sound I want to make that sound so that I can imitate that.
Ken, I want to ask you some questions about you, because a lot of our choir members recognize you and they know you a little bit, but I want them to know a little bit about your background, and in particular, your love for church music, which you've had all your career. So I'm going to ask you the questions, first of all, just about your training and stuff, because you don't like to brag about yourself, so I'm going to make you do it. Tell us about where you got your undergraduate degree and all that kind of stuff. Tell everybody about your piano training, and then how did you learn the craft of composition?
I grew up in a very musical family. Everybody in my family is musical. Went to Samford on a French horn scholarship. Grew up in Virginia, came down to Samford to go to college, met my wife Susan, who was in Atlanta. And she came over here to get her degree in piano, and started writing during college, early, just right off the bat. But I've always been in church music, grew up singing in the junior choir and the young musicians and the youth choir and all that. I always had a love for it, and particularly a love for hymnody. And I started writing charts. It's kind of funny. I think of myself as a functional composer. Some of my early stuff was really pretty just terrible, but hopefully I've learned a little bit with practice and gotten to the point where it happens. I can hear things and translate them easily to my head. What do I need for this ensemble today?
I also want you to give a good plug for the Birmingham Boys Choir, which I am such an enthusiast over. So whatever you want to say about your wonderful choir, Ken.
The Birmingham Boys Choir is a nonprofit civic organization. It was actually incorporated in 1973. I was hired by the board of directors in 1978. So this year 2021 is the 48th year of the Birmingham Boys Choir, and Susan and I are completing our 44th year with the Birmingham Boys Choir. We have just regular, everyday, ordinary boys, aged 8 to 18. If they start in 3rd grade, which is when we begin, they have the option of singing 3rd and 4th grade as juniors. They can actually sing in 5th grade as juniors too. Our seniors are 5th through 8th grade. Our graduates are 9th through 12th grade. And this year, I've got 12 boys who are graduating 12th grade, going off to college or into the military or trade school. And 11 of the 12 have been singing with me since they were 8 years old. So we have about 100, right now we have 130 boys. We have had up to 160, but in COVID world, we're like everybody else in the world. We've had to contract a bit, but we hope to get back to our maximum at some point in time. And we teach boys music reading skills because that's important. We teach them vocal skills, reading skills, but they also learn life skills. We have 12 life lessons that we discuss at every rehearsal. We audition boys all year. We enroll boys in January and in July. So if you're local and you have boys or grandsons, or you know boys in this church who should be singing with us, or in your neighborhood, or in your extended family unit who should be singing with us, now is the time to send them.
Yeah, I've got a couple more questions here. At Christmas, I've seen your boys, and then they're up there with their dads, and then their older brothers, and all these multi-generations of men and boys singing together at your Christmas concert. It's quite something. I have no idea how many you've had on the platform, but it's in excess of 200.
We've had 200.
Filling that room just incredible, with the highest of excellence. In the 30 plus years you and Susan have been, Susan being Mrs. Susan Berg, that's his wife, he's mentioned Susan, they are co-conductors, just fabulous job. Do you have any idea how many boys have gone through the boys choir over all these years?
On our alumni roll, we have around 800 boys. Mm-hmm. We do always include in our yearly repertory sacred literature. We have at least 1 or 2, sometimes 3 hymn settings in our repertory. Then we also will sing Americana pieces, folk songs and spirituals.
Well, Ken, I want to thank you for being here with us in our special edition of our choir rehearsal. And, we love you and Susan. You are precious to us and love all the music that you've composed for us. And, of course, you're the conductor of our chamber ensemble. And we look forward to things getting back to normal, which God is going to make things back to normal sooner than later. And so we're excited about that. I want to end here this afternoon, and remember to send me any prayer requests that you've got. You folks have been doing that regularly, and don't stop, because Jenny and I love praying for you in the evenings when we pray for our own children.